Hey everyone, this is Inlovewhit. Thanks for clicking on my video. Please remember to like and subscribe. Also, click that notification bell. Hey guys, today's video is going to be a Q&A video. A few people submitted questions on Instagram, so tonight I'm going to answer them. This is my first Q&A video, so I'm pretty excited. If you have other questions that you'd like me to answer that you don't see answered in this video, make sure to leave a comment below and I'll do another video. Okay, so let's get right into it. We have about 10 questions and I want to make sure that I have enough time for all of them. So the first question, how long have you been natural? I've been natural since I transitioned in either 2011 or 2012, around there. So I guess I've officially been natural about 7 or 8 years. I transitioned for, I think, about 6 months using braids, kinky twists. I think I even did a couple weaves and gradually cut off my permed ends. And once they were all the way cut off, I started wearing my natural hair. So yeah, I think about 6 months I transitioned and I've been natural for about 6 or 7 years. Why did you decide to go natural? I decided to go natural or return, however you'd like to say it, wasn't because it was like cool. My friend actually, Living with Shay, said to me, "Why do you get relaxers? You wear your hair in kinky twists or braids." She pretty much was saying like, what's the point of a relaxer if your hair is always tucked away? And I was like, you're right, I don't know. So I started researching and looking into natural hair and like trying to see what it was about because I've had a perm since I was about 10 years old. And from there I was like, hey, like why not? Shout out to Living with Shay. Did you have any supporters when going natural or any naysayers? So as far as supporters go, I think most people around me were supportive. My main supporters were definitely like Living with Shay. I was always able to call her, text her, ask like, how do I do this? Can you help me with my hair? My other biggest supporter was my boyfriend at the time, now husband. He always like ranted and raved about how he loved my natural hair, how it looked so nice. And I look back now and think, ooh, boy, was he lying. But at the time, his positive attitude and just constantly like bigging me up really kept me going, really kept me thinking like, all right, like I can do this. And honestly, like friends, family, like everyone was super supportive. As far as naysayers go, like no one really made negative comments that I can remember. Like no one ever like said anything bad. So I think all love, all support. Anyone who said anything negative obviously was someone I didn't know or didn't care about. So what advice do you have for a Black male looking to curl his hair? So I think hair is hair. So whether you're male or female, hair products work for everyone. So I would say finding a good styler. So whether it's a gel, a mousse, finding something to define your curls potentially. Also finding a good product to bring out your curls so that you then have the styler to hold them. So for me, anytime I'm struggling to make my curls pop, I use bentonite clay. So I use the bentonite clay mask and you leave that in your hair for like 15-20 minutes and your curls come out way more defined. I actually did a video with me using it, so I'll link that below. But I definitely recommend bentonite clay mask to start with to make your curls pop. And if you still find yourself having trouble holding those curls, or they're not, like when you go to style it or throughout the day they're not holding, look for like a gel or something thicker to hold your curls. Where did you get your shower mirror from? I'm very impressed. Thank you. I got my shower mirror from wayfair.com, I'm pretty sure, but I got it several years ago. But now, I mean, I go into Target, Walmart, everyone has shower mirrors. It is so clutch for wash day. Great investment for natural hair, in my opinion. How important are edges to you? I mean, I want edges. I want to have edges. But as far as like styling them, I'm not about, I shouldn't say I'm not about it. I just don't style my edges. I pretty much just slick them back. Actually, since having postpartum shedding, my edges are pretty thin, so it's very rare for me to do styles like this that put tension on my edges for that reason. But they're important because I want them. They're not important for me to style them. Long story short. What has helped you retain length? I think a couple things have helped me retain length. I would have to say one of the bigger ones is keeping my hands out of my hair. If you are a person who styles your hair every day, or you find yourself constantly playing in your hair and just in your hair all the time, I think that causes a lot of friction in your hair, that causes breakage. So the more you leave your hair alone, in the most general sense, I think it's better. So for me, I do buns, I do styles like twist outs, where in the morning I really just spritz it, shake it out, maybe pick, use a pick if I really need extra volume, but I go. So I don't find myself like having to restyle it, having to like pull it back, pull it up. Like I try to do as low maintenance style as possible. I think also knowing when to get your ends clipped is super crucial. If you hold on to dead ends, it'll destroy your hair. If you're someone who doesn't get your ends clipped ever, or I know people who said it's been years, I'd recommend going to a hairstylist at least once or twice a year. That's usually my cadence. I try to do twice, just so that they can look at your ends and say you're good. Because I've noticed like that can definitely be detrimental. And these are things that have worked for me. So everyone's different. I will acknowledge that. How do you keep your hair moisturized in the winter? So my routine is pretty much the same no matter the season. I try to be very diligent about moisturizing. So I have my water bottle with oil. So I do whatever oils I have: olive oil, castor oil, tea tree oil, peppermint oil. I think I have grapeseed oil. So whatever, I put a few of those in, not all of them necessarily. Use that spray bottle, spritz my hair. Then I either use a leave-in conditioner, shea butter, something to seal that moisture in. And I try to keep my ends tucked away. So if my hair is not looking to twist out, then it's in a bun, it's in braids, it's under a wig. I think the most important thing though is knowing when to moisturize your hair. So if your hair is feeling dry, moisturize. If you feel like you're moisturizing a lot and you're still unable to retain moisture, you might need to drink more water. I notice my hair hydrates way better when I consume more water. I haven't been doing that lately, so I definitely should get on that again. But drink water, apply water to your hair. When moisturizing, oil does not moisturize your hair. That's something to note, because I know people will dump oil on their hair and say, my hair's so dry. Oil is a sealant, so when you put water on your hair, you then apply oil for the oil to seal in that water. So that's another good thing. Find things that are water-based, and then they'll keep your hair moisturized longer. How do you prevent frizz when doing a twist out or a braid out? So there's two big things that I do to try to reduce frizz. But before I get into that, I want to make note, I don't mind frizz. I sometimes think frizz adds to your look. So I don't necessarily like my hair to look super neat and all uniform. I think a little bit of frizz adds character, for lack of better words. But to reduce frizz, when you're doing your twist out or braid out, don't borrow hair. So what I mean by that is when you're twisting or braiding and you notice like, oh, half of my twist or braid is short, and then you borrow from the other part, when you go to untwist, if you don't do it very carefully, you'll pull. Therefore, the braid or the twist will not separate neatly. That causes frizz. Also, another big one, and maybe even bigger than that, is using just your dry hands to touch to undo your twist or braid when you're taking it down. So anytime that I handle my hair, pretty much any time I style my hair after it's already dry, I use oil if I'm trying to reduce frizz. Oil just helps you glide through your hair. It doesn't cause friction, and it's really helped to reduce frizz. So even when I go to slick my hair back at night, when I have a twist out, I put a little bit of oil on my hand, slick it back, and then I can like move my hair if I need to like slick it all back in one way or pull it into a ponytail. I'm doing that without causing frizz because my hands are properly oiled. Oil, no borrowing hair, less frizz. All right, so we're at our last question. And this question is actually not hair related, but someone asked, so I'm gonna answer it. Who is your favorite actor? So I'm not really big on movies or TV shows. I kind of watch the same few things all the time. My favorite actor would have to be Idris Elba. Looks good, so I like watching him. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I hope it was helpful. I hope you got some insight into how I style my hair, how I take care of my hair, and I guess a little bit more about me since you know who my favorite actor is now. If you have other questions you'd like me to answer, or even if you have ideas of another video I can do, please leave them in the comment section below. I love your feedback. I love to know what you guys want to see, what you guys like, what you don't like. So it's really appreciated. So thanks again. I'll see you in the next one.